Hey, hello everyone. This is Noemi broadcasting from the Blue Mountains we are here next to a few kilometers from Sydney in Australia, New South Wales. So today we are going to have a metaphysics activity here, and the reason why we are here talking about this is about meta considerations. So when we say meta considerations, we are talking about considerations about metaphysics. This is part one because there are a few more information, but for today we are going to start with this. Let me just share this screen. Give me 1 second. There you go. Okay, so let me start with this. GTF. The acronym GTF stands for the Golden Tunic Fellowship, which is the name that Master Kuthumi gives to the students who work with his radiation, including the facilitators of the inner teaching, among others. Facilitators. We are here talking about a person who acts as a facilitator. The old language, the old way of saying facilitator might be a teacher, might be a guru. We use this terminology to emphasize the action. So the person who facilitates. Only meta facilitators. When I'm saying meta facilitators, I mean people who facilitate metaphysics. Editors, book providers, and librarians who promote the meta teaching. When I'm saying meta teaching, I mean the metaphysics teaching, are enrolled in the GTF. The GTF is under Master Kuthumi and hierarchs of the second Golden Ray patronage. Let me tell you something. If this is your first metaphysics activity, you might not understand everything, but don't worry. The same happened to me. My first activity, I remember, was in Cordoba, Argentina, and I think when I left the activity, I said to myself, I don't know if I understood, but I love it. And I then next week I went back and here I am. So don't worry. Let's talk about, so let me show you a picture of where I am. Kuthumi, Master Kuthumi, and Ruben Cedeño, because all this activity is based on his work. So Ruben Cedeño's work. He prepared these PowerPoints in Spanish. He's Venezuelan and he learned metaphysics with Connie Mendes. And well, this is why I'm showing you their pictures here. So let's say meta considerations. Ruben Cedeño's meta considerations is a manual of procedure for meta facilitators, meta students, and meta groups, with considerations to be reflected and contemplated. Well, let's say meta facilitators. We said that people who facilitate metaphysics. What about meta students? What do you think? Well, people who study metaphysics. And meta groups? Well, people who gather to study. Of course, that involves facilitators and students. These are not rules to be obeyed. but to train the way of communicating and sustaining the meta activities, transmuting the spirit, the essence of the meta teaching, factually without variable concept. So when I'm saying this is just a guideline. These are guidelines to follow if you, and we are going to say, explain now what consider means. The way to communicate the essence, the content of these words, not by verbal concept. Apologetic. What does it mean? Well, something apologetic is when I'm saying, because metaphysics is the best, and with metaphysics, it's like talking about. I was thinking about this the other day. You know the Google reviews, when you say, "Oh, this is lovely," blah 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 blah. This is apologetic. But if you say the place is nice, the people are on time, well, you are saying facts. So in metaphysics, we talk about facts. It is not apologetic, theoretical. When I'm saying, oh yes, I study metaphysics, I'm saying not the boring metaphysics about Plato, Aristotle, which is lovely. Aristotle was the first person, Andronico de Rodas actually was the first person who used the word metaphysics and to describe themes beyond physics. So in this regard, well, we just talk in fact. What is metaphysics? Okay, and I'm saying thinking, positive thinking is about your inner self. It's about being prosperous, being healthy, being in harmony, these kind of things. And doctrinal, well, doctrine, is like something is said, and we are going to talk about this, the whole activity. When I'm saying activity, think of the old term of class, but it's not a class. Class is when you just go there, cross your arms like this, and then you sit and just listen. Activities because you are involved, you interact and participate as well. So, consider. So we could say considerations are to be considered. What consider is think, reflect, analyze, and meditate, giving your attention to something with full attention. And this is what Ruben says, and I translated exactly, or in translation, the words, you want to convey the meaning beyond the words. The words are just the caps with the information, with the content. So when we translate, so this is from Spanish into English, then you want to convey that content. But in this way, I try to keep the essence of what Ruben wants to say in terms of what is considered. Is when you just not do this because someone told you, or you just read this. Is because you first, yes, you receive the information, but then you process that information and you digest, and then you say, okay, I will give it a go. And that's consider. And I love that metaphysics is about this. It's not a rule. Meta considerations, objectives. Number 1, be a manual of procedure of the inner unfoldment to meta facilitators, meta students, and meta groups. This is, like I said, guidelines to make this smoothly in a better way. Number 2, facilitate recommendations to be reflected and considered. These are not rules to be obeyed. And if you see facilitators all around the world, they have their own way. And it's okay. You just follow the guidelines, but they are not rules to just, blindly follow. Train. Number 3, objective number 3. Train the way of facilitating and sustaining the meta activities. Let me tell you that Rubén Cedeño was studying with Connie Mendes for 10 years, and he has been doing this for a long time. If my memory is right, more than 50 years. So that's why we follow this rule, because when you know a recipe and the recipe works, well, you just follow the recipe. That's it. And number 4, achieve that the spirit of what is communicated is transmitted factually without verbal, apologetic, theoretical, or doctrinal concept. This is what we talk about. So how can we maintain the order in a meta activity? Remember that meta, we talk about metaphysics and activity. And the other day I was distributing some signs about this event, and someone said, oh, well, what is it? It's a meeting, it's an event. It's an event. It's the old term of class, but we call activity because we want everyone to be active. So number 1, if there is streaming, like now, we are online, prepare the place 1 hour earlier with scenario. We have a projector, we have the image, I don't know if you can see, here, the image of Master Saint Germain. We have, obviously the table, chairs, everything prepared. That's the place. Lights, we have some lights, you can see behind me a little bit light, but also, we have a little bit of sunlight as well here. Sound and keynotes. What keynote is not just music. Is in a piece of music, within that not song, because not everything is a song, but in that musical work there is one note, which vibrates with a being, like a light being, with a virtue. So for example, Master Saint Germain's keynote is concert of Aranjuez concert by Joaquin Rodrigo, and there are many keynotes. Number 2, welcome the participants, all of you, with keynotes of the 6th Gold Ruby Ray without copyright. So this is because we are broadcasting, we want to make sure that this is going on perfectly. So we respect that law of copyright. And the 6th Gold Ruby Ray, there's, like I said at the beginning, there are a lot of information here, Just to give you in a nutshell, there are 7 rays. 7 rays, and the 6th gold ruby ray is the ray of peace. So when you come here, your daily activities, running with kids, work, everything, and then you come here and then you just settle down, relax, be prepared to receive this. Start on time. So exactly on time we started. Communicate ethic for meta activity. This is what was projected before, and we are going to talk about this ethic shortly. A priesthood or acolytes will do a service with the power of the verb according to the activity and off-stream. Well, this is not recorded. And a service. Well, the service is something that you do previously. I want to share with you this, one of my first living experience in metaphysics. I was a university student in Córdoba, Argentina, and I read in a book about metaphysics, metagroups. And I was thinking, oh, that would be interesting. So I decided to go. But I broke 2 guidelines here. One says start on time. I might be a little bit later. And number 2, when I was entering the place, I was in a hotel. I don't remember now the place, but what I do remember is I will put in these words, the energy that I felt when I just entered, and everyone was doing a service. Very powerful, saying decrees, and when, of course, I had no clue whatsoever what was going on, so the energy just pushed me back. And I said, I just ran away. Run away. Like many people that maybe the first activity, I don't know what happened. And just ran away. But then I try again and I continue. But yeah, that's the service, what we do. In metaphysics, we don't what is the word? We don't pray. Some people say, oh, pray for me, pray for the health of my loved ones. In metaphysics, we decree with the power of decree. And if you want to have an example, Guy Ballard, he was decreeing very powerful. Number 6, communicate the planned activity. Well, of course, you plan ahead what you're going to talk, and then just go for it. And number 7, request loving donations. So, as you see, this is all the preparation how to. If I should say, this order is more for the facilitator and people who help the facilitator to prepare the activity, because it's all the steps that you follow. Request loving donation. I remember Ruben Cedeño saying that Connie Mendes was a very, very wealthy woman. She was famous for being a songwriter, singer, and she was famous, of course, in Venezuela, Caracas. And she, even with all her wealth, she requested loving donations. There are many reasons why we request loving donations. Number 1, we don't charge for this. Number 2, there is a law, the law of cause and effect. If you receive something, then you should give something in return. And well, to fulfill that law, we just request these loving donations. And number 8, finish with an uplifting keynote. Well, at the end of the activity, we just, go, woo, something uplifting. Okay, now, ethic for a meta activity. So this is for you. This is what you should do when you participate or when you attend. So number 1, attend on time and elegantly dressed. And this is one of the first things we learned. This is what I remember Wednesday Daniel saying, that he was traveling different cities, different countries. And because he started a long time ago, at that time, the WhatsApp didn't exist, the Zoom didn't exist, the OBS didn't exist, or any of the communication. They just talk on the phone. So when he arrived to an airport, and obviously metaphysicians were waiting for him, and he said, I will recognize the metaphysicians by the clothes, how they are dressed. And the best dressed were the metaphysicians. So if you see a metaphysician, you will not see them in thongs, wearing thongs, no. Or, well, we are going to talk about that later, but elegant. Number 2, phones turned off and put aside. Well, that is what you do in let's say what educated people do. Just if you go to the theater, you just turn off your phone. If you go to the cinema, you turn off your phone. If you go to a meeting, you turn off your phone. Even at work, you turn off your phone. Obviously, depending on your work. But that is like something to consider. Number 3, avoid bringing children who do not belong to the group. And there is a reason why. The children, they love playing, and they want to move, and they have the freedom to do that. And I will emphasize here the word bringing. So we don't bring children, but we don't bring anybody. If you love metaphysics, if you enjoy metaphysics, well, you just come, you don't bring your boyfriend, your partner, your mom, your dad, your neighbor. No, because we all, if you come here, it's because you want. So you don't bring anybody. Number 4, prevent the consumption of liquid, food, or chewing. And this is for this time. It could last 1 hour, 2 hours most, then we have a break. But for this time, you just avoid. It's for you. Obviously, the person who is talking, they might have some liquid, but the rest, you just focus. Imagine that, and I'm going to be maybe, I don't know if it sounds rude, but I like to put this example. If you are making love, do you think that you want to drink something? Obviously not. Because you are, absolutely 100% focused on what you are doing. So, obviously, we are not going to make love here, here in the room, but think of that. So when you are focused on something, you just focus. Number 5, refrain from reserving or changing seats. You just come here and sit, and that's it. Be prepared if the activity is with a open book. Sometimes we work with a book to highlight something. Well, if that is the case, you just bring your book with you. Number 7, stay without note-taking. I know that at school and at the uni you always were note-taking, and every course you go you just write up, because I see that all the time. But it's not needed here. First of all, you have the activity online. You can watch it anytime, anywhere, many times. And number 2, the reason why we don't need to stay to do note taking is because you are dividing your attention. And what is if we are considering this, we are, remember the definition, fully, with your full attention. So if you're writing, you are not listening. If you're listening, you're not writing. So one or the other. Participate in the service and the activity, so you are communicating here. And number 9, offer a loving donation at the end. So at the end, we request the donation, and so my dharma as a facilitator is to request the donation. Your dharma, is to offer a loving donation. And let me tell you the difference. When we say donation, we are not saying tips. You know, when you give someone a tip, like a coin, what I mean donation is, think of how much you pay for a course where you learn something. So you are how can I put this in words? In simple words, let me tell you, the more you give, the more you receive. That's it. Nobody will ask you, nobody will look at how much you give. It's up to you, but the law exists. And that's the law of cause and effect. What you give, you receive multiplied. Number 10, wear red color, avoiding black. We said this is a something to consider. Well, I don't know you, but I'm going to share my living experience with this. One day, I had my metaphysics activity, and I went there, and the facilitator was saying, avoid wearing black. When I was thinking of my wardrobe, everything was black, except maybe one pair of pants and a t-shirt, that's all. I was a teenager at that time, around 20-ish years old. I said, oh my God, what I'm going to do? Do you think I said, because people, start giving excuses like, oh, but black makes me thinner, or look more elegant, these kind of things that, some people say it's easier to maintain clean. I didn't think any of those excuses. I just thought, I called my mom and I said, Mom, be prepared, because I'm taking all my clothes and I give it to you to give to charity or something. So, and I had only a pair of pants, maybe a t-shirt, and that's it. And then every time I was going to the shop, I was buying something color. So now I'm wearing something violets because of today is Saturday, and yellow blues. Okay, meta considerations origin. How this is started. And this is Rubén Cedeño's words. Since 1997, after Connie Mendes' disembodiment, her disciples, my students, Rubén Cedeño's students, and people from many cities have come to me to Rubén Cedeño, for the meta teaching. While talking with the young entrepreneur Bayardo Mendez at the Great Cafe in Savannah Grande, he suggested the need to build a structure to continue this work. So Rubén Cedeño thought, it will be a structure without structure, rules without rules. Yes, you might. I shared a reel on social media, and someone said I said, "What do you think?" And the person said, "But that's not English." And I said, "Why not?" Because you are saying something nonsense. And I said, "Well, it is. It's a structure without structure." I will say, sleep on it. That's all. Rules without rules. The monastic rules of saints, like Saint Benedict, Saint Francis, and Saint Teresa of Avila came to my mind. So Rubén Cedeño explains. Not to be copied, but studied and used as inspiration. These were 3 guidelines of mystic groups which, through the centuries, have achieved excellent outcomes. In the name of God and the Masters, these could not fail me. And I just show you 3 pictures of the rule of Saint Benedict and the book of with the rules by Francis of Assisi, and the image of Saint Teresa. So he had Rubén Cedeño was inspired by these guidelines, these rules, to create what we are talking today about these meta considerations. Metaphysics, free metaphysics. 7 without authority, without rules, without impositions, without restrictions, without prohibitions, without dogmas, without superstitions. Well, let's talk one by one. Authority. And I went to the dictionary to see what authority means. So authority is the power to make decisions for other people or to tell them what they must do. Are you the kind of person that you don't want people to tell you what to do? This is your place. And why is that? Because we, in metaphysics, we understand that every person within, there is an inner self, and that inner self is goodwill, wisdom, and love. So we can recognize that person is able to make a decision on their own. So we don't have to tell them what to do. And so if there is no authority here, but it's not anarchy either. So what is it? Imagine the facilitator is a chef. What is the job of a chef? Well, they prepare food, but they don't tell the customers what they should eat. They have you been to a restaurant where they say chef recommendation or something like that? they have these recommendations. Like, this is the best, but then it's your choice. You make that call. You decide what you want to eat. So this is metaphysics without authority. Rule. What is rule? So in metaphysics, there is no rule, but what is a rule? A rule is an accepted principle or instruction that states the way things are or should be done and tells you what you are allowed or are not allowed to do. So, and this is why rules without rules. Because it's not that you are blindly follow the rule. And I put here the word antonym just to play a little bit. Okay, we don't have rules, but what we call these rules, we call considerations. Because it's not something like you just come here and follow. Like let's talk about what I said to you about the colors. Nobody forced me to wear colors. I just decided, and I noticed that people with colorful looks younger or, I don't know, cheerful. I just considered that and I thought, okay, I will do it. So that was a consideration. It's not a rule. When people come, a lot of people come to physically, face-to-face, to the metaphysics, meta activities. And the rule, there is no rule. One of the ethic for a metaphysics is well-dressed, elegantly. And in the Metaphysics Congress, I remember once myself, my first Congress was in Cordoba about health. And I went there, teenager, my joggy pants. It was green, by the way, because I knew already the color, but it was joggy pants, like a t-shirt. Almost like, instead of going to the gym, I went to that activity. And when I was there, oh my God, all the people, not all, but, people well dressed up, very elegant. And I thought, oh, when I'm wearing this, I don't want to wear this. I want to wear something nicer. So, well, and there is, let me just give you this. Look at that. In Argentina, there is a presenter, TV presenter. Her name is Mirta Legrand. And she said, as people see you, they treat you. So if you see someone well dressed up like this, you might feel comfortable with them more. Whereas if you see someone like, all black with a hat, almost you cannot recognize their face, you are like a little bit like, oh, who is this person? I don't know. Well, this is a consideration. And for anybody, male, female, she, he, they, it, I don't know how many genders, that is a recommendation. Is it a rule? No. Do you want to wear black? Because the color, let me tell you, I don't want to be, in a rush, but about the color, I am a physiotherapist. I work with people who needs, who are in healing processes, and they come to my office where I work in the clinic, and I see them black from head to toe. So I explain them. Do you wear colors? Do you have any favorite color? And I explain the vibration and the explanation of what the color means. So if you wear black, It's up to you, but black is related to depression, accidents, suffering, and some of them next session I don't tell anybody anything, but I see them with something of color, and others just the same, blacky. But it's just a recommendation, it's not a rule, and my dharma is to tell them they do what they think is the best. Imposition. So in metaphysics, there is no imposition. Imposition is a situation in which someone expects another person to do something that they do not want to do, or that is not convenient. I have many examples here to say impositions. I tell you one, and it's not in order of criticism, please, but just to give you an example. Going to church every Sunday. That's the rule, that's the imposition. If you are not following that rule, you break the rule, you go, well, the fear of, oh, if you don't do this, what you should do, you expect this, that is an imposition. Well, what is in metaphysics there are recommendations, and the recommendation is, well, here for example, alcohol free. How can I say this? There is not an imposition that you are not going to drink alcohol, but one day you will feel that you don't need alcohol anymore. It's a recommendation. What happened? Alcohol was created by evil energies to replace Amrita. Amrita is a liquid of vitality, health, and well, that's why the alcohol was created. Recommendation: don't drink alcohol. Now, if you study metaphysics, can you drink alcohol? That is up to you. But let me tell you, the other day I was listening to the news, and there was, I'm not going to say the country because I'm not going to say something good about the country, but someone died because the person was poisoned by alcohol. So the journalist was, asking a health professional, saying, okay, what is the solution in this case? We shouldn't drink alcohol? What do you think? And I said to myself, yes, that's logical, that is common sense. If you drink alcohol, you are free to do it, but you know that the risk is that you can die. That's it. Restriction. In metaphysics, there are no restrictions. A restriction is a limit on something. You know that before was, oh yes, we are not talking. So the meeting, I remember one day, someone told me about a meeting. But I couldn't tell anybody about that meeting. Say, you are invited, yes, but you cannot tell anybody. What do you think I did? I didn't go. I said, no, what is that? Restriction, like, oh, this is secret, don't tell anybody. No, now metaphysics is about expansion. We are on Zoom, we are on YouTube, we are here in the hub in Springwood, so everybody can see this. It's about expansion, free entry. We don't even charge for this, although it costs a lot. This place costs money. The projector costs money. My laptop costs money, the phone, and so on, so on, so on. So, but the entry is for free. You just come here because this is this is about metaphysics, is about expansion. The metaphysics is spreading all around the world. Prohibition. What is a prohibition? So in metaphysics, there is no prohibition. The act of not allowing something or an order that does this. So prohibition. You cannot do this. Or here is prohibited. No. There is no prohibition. We work with free will. You have free will, and let me tell you that even God respects that. I have this image. Oh yeah. Do you think he's prohibited smoking? When I'm saying prohibited is I mean you at home. And there are obviously places like here, the policy is not smoking. But if you are at home and you want to study metaphysics because you love metaphysics, well, you are free to study. And smoke as well is not prohibited. But if you want to your end like this photo, well, it's up to you. The other day I was talking with someone, like I told you, I work with patients, and I said to the person, look, to improve your healing process, to make it faster, you should stop smoking. And I said to him, oh, I know the excuse, oh, but it's so difficult, I cannot quit, blah blah blah, I did this, I did that. And I said, well, look, first of all, do you want to quit? And the person said, yes, I tried. Okay, do you have a cigarette? And say, yeah. Okay, so take the cigarette in your hand and you're not going to quit. You're going to tell the cigarette, you quit me. That's it. You are not going to play in your mind like you need to quit. No, nothing. It's simple. Metaphysics, in metaphysics, everything is simple. Dogma. We don't work with dogmas here. Dogma is a fixed, especially religious, belief or set of beliefs that people are expected to accept without any doubt. So dogma is kind of, it's written. What is a, okay, the antonym I chose here was a foundation. We don't follow a dogma. We just, okay, the reason why. I give the person, do you want to smoke? Feel free to do it. The reason why I'm saying that you should stop doing that is because your health is deteriorating. So that is the foundation. But you have free will. Oh, what an example say? Well, like Connie Mendes says, don't believe me, just put this into practice. When we talk about metaphysics, we just say, whatever I'm saying here, don't believe me. That's dogma. When you believe because someone else says, just put this into practice. And a superstition. Superstition is a belief that is not based on human reason or knowledge. Usually is related with something mysterious, like kind of magic, like a black cat or number 13. Well, in metaphysics we don't need luck. We don't need anything, like superstition or wearing red shoes. I don't know how many examples I can list, but what about practice? And let me tell you what Katiuska Gordillo used to say: talk about what you have applied. Katiuska Gordillo, as you see on the picture, she was working with Connie Mendes, helping her kind of as a secretary, but she didn't have to work or anything like that. She was so both of them, Connie Mendes and Katiuska Gordillo, taught Rubén Cedeño metaphysics. Taught metaphysics to Rubén Cedeño, and Rubén always says that Katiuska told him, and Katiuska herself said, I cannot speak about vegetarianism because I'm not vegetarian. I can talk myself. Noemi can talk because Noemi is vegetarian, but you cannot talk something about something that you didn't apply. That is superstition. When you say something because you read. But in metaphysics, we work with the feeling. If you have practiced this, well, you know by yourself. Well, positivism when attending. The first objective of metaphysics is positivism. It celebrates, deals, and serves those who come, attend, and arrive at the meta activities, moreover, who overcome obstacles. Sometimes there is the metaphysics activity and a family event, or a Christmas party, or someone called you to go to the theater, or a school event. I don't know how many things can happen at the same time. Traffic things, whatever happen. But you decide to, okay, I'm going to attend that activity. And you just go for it. Metaphysics doesn't deal, nor complain, nor comment, but remains silent regarding who does not come, nor attend or cannot arrive. So we are what we are, who we are. That's it. No matter who else is not coming, or doesn't matter. Metaphysics does not invite, nor scold who is absent, nor say to someone to come, but silently respect the free will. So it's not like, like I told you about the Sunday. So you come, so these activities are weekly. So every Saturday. Then one Saturday, someone, for any reason we don't know, they don't come. And then the next Saturday they come. So I'm not going to ask the person, oh, why you didn't come last time? Oh, what happened? Or scolding them because, oh, you should come. We don't do that. We just respect everyone's free will. Non-attendance. Giving excuses to whom facilitates interiority. When I say interiority, think of the old term spirituality. But interiority, Juan Rubén Cedeño convey as inner, within. So facilitates interiority. Okay, I'm sorry again. Giving excuses to whom facilitates interiority for not attending their activity, it doesn't justify anything, nor make anyone to getting good because the damage or being absent is irreparable. You didn't attend? You missed? If the student is not willing to renounce everything with this discreet silent clock in order to participate in the meta teaching, as do so who facilitates by communicating it, everything becomes a hopeless nonsense in which the objectives of Dharma die. If you are the student and you decided not to come today, well, it's up to you. Dharma is not the opposite of karma. Dharma is the law, is what is to be done. Metaphysics. Karma, is not related to dharma. They are Sanskrit words, but they have different meanings. Karma means action. You have good karma, bad karma, but dharma is the law. So the dharma is what we should do. So there is a traffic light in red. What is dharma? Stop. Stop the car. And comprehensive metaphysical training. Well, when we study metaphysics, don't think that this is all over the place and there is no program. There are four as far as I'm aware, 4 metaphysics degrees in the Vargas University in Miami, the US. And here we have this comprehensive training. Well, number 1 is Pillars of Metaphysics, Advanced Metaphysics, 7 Rays, Anthropogenesis, Interiorism 1, Cosmogenesis, Interiorism 2, Return to the Being, Interiorism 3, First Initiation at the Feet of the Master, Second Initiation, The Voice of the Silence, Third Initiation, Light on the Path, Fourth Initiation, Jesus Maxims, Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, and Simple Gita. And yes, we read the titles, but believe me, each of these has a lot. Each of these books, their books, have a lot. Each has a lot of content, a lot. That I don't even if your inclination will let you fulfill everything. All right, and that's it. Well, we are going to finish with the Saint Germain's blessing. He says, I enfold you with my courage, strength, perfect health, filling your minds and bodies until there is only harmony there. Thank you very much, and see you next time. Bye for now.